Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the St. Johns County Show. You just made it.
Just made it.
Sorry, Trey. Sheriff.
Welcome to the hood.
Right, man. Well, you know it's going to be a fun show today. We got Sheriff Hardwick in studio. And we've actually got some pretty important stuff to talk about here with the Sheriff. I mean, we talk about important stuff most of the time here, but
Majority.
we've got, maturity. Sometimes we just have fun for 40 minutes, whatever. But there's a cold case update after nearly 40 years.
Yeah, 1985.
That you guys, wow.
Super excited to talk about that
I
later
definitely want to
Yeah,
hear some of the
yeah.
tech that was involved in
Yes.
this, because this is pretty amazing.
Yep,
Pretty
absolutely.
amazing the work that you guys have done on this. And you guys have a lot going on with the Sheriff's Office coming up here.
Been a little busy in old St. Johns County.
No way.
St. Johns County.
No
I'm just glad there's no
way.
traffic. No traffic.
What are you talking about?
We're like little Washington, D.C. down here.
It's turning into it, isn't it?
Bumpa da bumpa.
Jeez, man. So we will get, we've got a lot to get into here today with Sheriff Hardwick. I'm excited to get into this conversation, these conversations.
Yeah, the series.
There we go. I guess we'll get things started by jumping into and talking about our friends at Bozard Ford Lincoln. There we go.
There it is.
Let's see, since 1949. Such a long time, man. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. They are a family-owned beacon of trust right here in St. Augustine. They're founded on the principles of honesty, integrity, and community service. The Bozard family tradition continues to thrive through the generations. They've got the state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane if you just need to pop in, pop out for a no-appointment-needed maintenance service. Plus, you can enjoy the comforts of their customer lounge and the unique flavors of Ford's Garage.
Nothing like it out there.
We're big fans of Ford's Garage. The proud recipients of the prestigious Triple Crown Award and named Florida's Dealer of the Year by Dealer Rater, their team dedicated to providing an enjoyable and efficient experience. Your satisfaction is their mission at Bozard Ford Lincoln, and they are driven to inspire. Also, of course, big shout out to our friends at Fidus Roofing, Great Expectations Realty and Auction, Chiba Hut Toasted Sub, St. Augie's Pizza, BHF Insurance, Elace Med Spa, Griffin Service, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and B&S Signs, who we'll talk about here shortly. But first, Davey, Trey, Sheriff, how's everybody doing this morning?
Oh, good morning. Davey was first. Go ahead, Davey.
You messed up the whole show.
I missed
It's
Troy.
not the first time. Oh, where's
You
my
missed
Troy?
Where's Troy?
Troy's on a plane to Vegas right now.
I know.
Attaboy.
Jeez.
How many times does this guy go to Vegas every year?
With
How many
Rebecca?
vacations does one need?
I think he's with Rebecca and his son.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
family trip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole whelping box went in on the train.
Yeah.
Or on the plane. So yeah, it's a great day. It's Friday. It's the weekend. Very excited about that. We got Trey in studio today.
Yes,
Very
Trey is
excited.
our producer this morning. How
Who
are
is
you,
this
Trey?
guy, Trey?
Yes, sir. I'm doing well. Thank you guys for having me.
We done
All
a
right,
background check
man.
on this guy? Who's this guy?
Oh yeah, we
You'll
did
be,
a background.
you'll be pretty impressed if
All
you
right.
check his
Yeah, all right,
background,
we'll check it
actually.
out. We'll check it out.
You'll be pretty impressed.
We interviewed him first on the afternoon show. We were like, yeah, good guy.
Trey,
Yeah.
license valid? Is your license valid?
Thank you guys. Yes, sir. License.
Outstanding. This is a good start. Great morning.
So good.
I hate for you to go from this house to the house across the street. You know? My gate. I'm not sure if you're familiar with my gated community, Trey, but it's right across the street.
Yes, sir. Please,
beautiful.
Please don't take me there.
No, sir. No, sir.
There's gardens and everything.
There is. They're even
Gardens.
working on a new playground.
Yes.
Okay.
There's dogs. Chains. All
Wow.
kinds of fun
Wow.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, okay. Sorry, Trey.
Talking to a very specific part of our audience.
I
that's
don't even
into
know this guy that
Sheriff.
well, too. We got to get to know him better before I start doing this.
Yeah,
My
right,
apologies,
right.
Trey.
Solid dude. Solid
My
dude. As
apologies,
far as
Trey.
I know, I don't really know him either, honestly.
right.
So
We'll do a little
who
background
knows?
check on him.
Yeah.
All right, great. Perfect. He's
Thanks, guys.
Oh, he's leaving, actually. I can see him standing up and leaving. He's
Trey, just kidding.
actually
Trey, come
running.
back. Trey, come back. We need you.
Don't obey the rest, Trey.
All right. Davey, what's our question of the day today, man?
All right. What movie absolutely traumatized you as a child?
You know what movie scared the crap out of me?
Mm.
And I told you I watched horror movies a lot from almost the time that I was born. The movie that really creeped me out was the movie The Labyrinth.
Really?
Remember this
David
movie?
Bowie?
It was the evil
my-
fairies.
So good.
It was the
They
evil.
were so little.
I know, but they bit.
Ah.
They bit. Yeah.
This is one of the greatest movies. I love.
It's definitely an impressive movie, but as a kid, if you're watching it too young, it's just creepy. It's this creepy alternate world, the weird maze with the steps on the ceiling.
Yeah. It was definitely something that'll trick your mind. But so was Return to Oz. That was another one that was pretty. Remember the second Wizard of Oz? Did you ever see this
No.
one? Oh, it was very creepy.
Was
it was definitely, I totally skeeved you out as a kid. But yeah, that's not my answer, but we'll see what Trey has to say.
What do you got, Trey?
Oh man, well, I honestly grew up with Barney on Broadway, the VHS. Right?
Oh my God,
So
that's scary.
Listen. There is a clown with super speed on there called the Winkster.
Okay,
I was
not expecting that.
I wasn't ready for this. Trey, this is awesome. Keep going, please.
No, it just steals what you love most and then disappears.
Oh my God.
Steals what you love the most and then just disappears. Sounds like my love life, Trey. That's wonderful. That's great. They can steal my thunder.
So Trey's just waking up every morning hoping his parents are there, his dog's still there.
Yeah.
I was going to say it was my first marriage, but I'm still on the thing. Kendall, hope you're just driving, honey. Don't listen to me. Military Spouses Day. You drive on, baby.
Yeah, Military Spouses Day shout out.
Oh my God.
So my answer is The Exorcist. Did you ever see this? Oh
Yeah.
man, that was she just scared the bejesus out of me when she turned the head all the way 360.
Yeah.
That was something. Yeah, that was definitely notable in my life.
Sheriff, what's your we're not going to let you put that on the record as your actual scary movie answer.
Yeah.
Kendall would kill us all.
No, we can't say that. Yeah. I will tell you this. Misery has always bothered me.
Really?
Yeah, that Kathy Bates, she freaks me out in that cabin, and I travel a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I've always been worried that Kendall's going to flip on me.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that movie, just like when she broke his ankles and stuff in the bed.
With the sledgehammer?
Yeah.
Yes! Because he put the penguin back in the wrong direction?
Yeah, that's scary.
Paul Waldron.
Now I can't get Barney. I can't get freaking Barney out of my.
You're welcome, Sheriff.
Thanks, Trey. I appreciate it,
What
brother.
an
That was
answer
good
on that
stuff. I'm
one.
gonna watch
I
that this afternoon. Team building.
You got to get that for free at the library, I think. They'll just,
What was
just
that movie
find
with?
that.
I can't remember. It was an odd movie with the two of them that was in black and white, and I want to say Nicolas Cage was in it or something like that. But it was a.
Ed Wood?
No, I'm going to think about it in a minute. It was just a very freaky a movie that was kind of like. I'll think of it in a minute. You caught me off guard with the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's bothering me now because I'm good with my memory. Just thinking here.
I mean, you only have to remember like 9 bajillion people all the time.
True statement.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Was it
All right.
Renfield?
Barney.
No.
Oh, that looks like it's black and white with Nicolas Cage.
And he has like crazy.
It might not be
Renfield?
Nicolas Cage. No, it was like oh goodness gracious, I'm gonna think of it now.
All right, it'll come to you.
Yeah, that's all right.
Mid show.
Yeah, that's okay. I got things to worry about.
All right. Well, you got time to think as we do a quick check of the weather with Davey.
Hot!
Yeah.
You guys, it was hot yesterday. It was too much.
Yeah.
I needed a little build into it.
Yeah. It just kind of hit us all at once.
That was brutal yesterday.
It was
Yeah,
brutal.
it was rough.
Even my AC smacked me around a little bit in the house. It got me scared.
Yeah.
I had to call Griffin.
Try wearing throwing that little dig. Try wearing green polyesters.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Yeah, with shiny
yeah.
shoes, breakdancing shoes.
I can't imagine.
See, let me throw the George Costanza at you and say
Come on.
cotton uniforms.
You think it's cooler?
It'll breathe better.
It'll breathe better.
I figured this just
You'll be more
ricochets of
comfortable.
poison or something. Like
Yeah.
something, yeah, still something.
You never know.
But then it shrinks in the wash. That was what
Yeah.
Costanza ran into.
That's
the shrink
right.
in the wash. And then all the New York Yankees were just in these little tiny things.
Well, they are now too. The baseball
right?
uniforms
Yeah.
are horrible.
All right. All right. Well, we now go to Trey for our traffic report.
Oh, look
Trey.
That's right.
All right.
We've got just little to no traffic,
Okay.
thankfully. State 206 is starting to get some backup,
Yeah, I see that.
Pedro.
but
That's early for
no,
Pedro.
Gulf
It's early.
Parkway is pretty clear. 207 is relatively clear. And 16, that intersection is fully repaired and open again.
Hey, that's nice.
They knew Sheriff was coming in today.
Actually, Trey, never say fully because it's one.
You're right. Yeah.
This is a 2-more-year project.
We're
by the way.
becoming I-4 on every road in St. Augustine.
It's going to be a peanut when it gets done.
Don't say that.
It's going to look beautiful.
Don't say that, Sheriff. We need no more peanuts, no more roundabouts.
Cashews. It's going to look like cashew. I don't even know what that means.
None of that stuff.
Yeah.
Man.
They say it's going to work. I guess there's one at actually where is there one? San Pablo, right there at San Pablo Road where it comes into not 9B, but what's the one that heads over to JTB?
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's
yeah.
one right there.
Yeah.
So they swear it's going to work. We'll see. Our people in St. Johns County can put up with it.
We don't. We're vehemently opposed to
We are opposed to
roundabouts,
it.
peanuts,
Yes, we will
hybrids.
change it. The sheriff's office will change it at nighttime while you're sleeping if you don't like it.
You don't like
Jeez.
roundabouts either?
They scare me. It's kind of like Barney. The VHS tape Barney, it all came like flashing through my head real quick.
We warned Trey that the sheriff likes really going after the producer on this show.
Yeah, we
no matter
my
who
bad,
it is.
my bad.
No, we warned him. It's fine.
Okay, that's good.
He
Good.
knows.
Ready.
He was
Good, good.
prepared.
He was training.
Good.
Mental health awareness month.
training.
He's ready.
That's right. That's right.
It is mental health awareness month.
All right, that traffic report brought to us by Lace Med Spa. It's also almost Mother's Day. That's happening Sunday. If you're anything like me, finding the perfect gift for mom can be a real challenge. But don't worry, because Lace Med Spa has got you covered this year. When you purchase a $100 gift certificate from Lace Med Spa, and not only are you giving the gift of relaxation and beauty, but your mom's also going to receive some bonuses. A stylish makeup bag.
Isn't that nice?
Heck yeah. And $50 extra towards any service of her choice at a Lace Med Spa. That's right. Over $150 value for just $100. Don't miss out on this amazing offer. Make Mother's Day unforgettable with a gift from a Lace Med Spa. Check out their website at alace.com. Sheriff, you mentioned it is Military Spouse Appreciation Week. And your wife, Kendall, supported you through your entire military career.
Yep.
I know, it doesn't have to be Military Spouse Appreciation Week for you to shout her out, for you to show her some love on that. You do that often.
Sure.
But yeah, talk to me about you and Kendall's relationship through
Sure.
that. That had to be a tough time for both of you, right?
Yeah, and there's so many special, people, men and women out there, of course, spouses of military people that are currently serving and veterans and stuff, and that have been deployed to war. Of course, my son is one of those now too, as well, because he's deployed as we speak. And it's just, we sat down one time. We've been married 33 years in July, so she's lived my whole military career, my whole law enforcement career. Wow. We sat down one day and we're like, I think it was 3.5 years we had been apart where I've been deployed somewhere in the world. Wow. So we sat down, we figured out the math. That's not including like stateside schools and stuff that I attended and all that good stuff. So just special people, of course, in our life and it's a special person, by the way. I mean, it's like, I remember yesterday, December 27th of 2002, we physically were celebrating Christmas. Our kids were out front playing. I got a phone call on my cell phone, and it was my first sergeant, from my military unit. He says, hey, we've been activated. We're heading to war. He said, we need you to report tomorrow morning. It was the 27th of December. The next morning on the 28th, I packed my life up, and I left, and I was back in 15 months.
Whoa, that's a long time,
it's kind of crazy. I mean, so there was a couple of times, of course, I saw them. They would come see me at Fort Stewart, where we were deploying from, and Army Hunter Airfield. But, I mean, physically gone for 15 months. It's like our life just went upside down, and maybe it's better that way sometimes. There's other times, of course, when I was up at Fort Bragg, when you're on what they call Rapid Deployment Force 1, 2, and 3, you have to deploy within 12 hours, basically. So you're all palletized, everything's packed, sitting on the green ramp, the runway, and then for 30 days, you basically are living in the barracks. You can't go anywhere. You're kind of locked down. Then RDF 2 is you can go kind of around the post area, off posts, kind of in the state, and then RDF 3 you can kind of leave the post and stuff. So just remember those days. I was actually home on RDF 1. I was supposed to be at Fort Bragg, but I flew home to see Kendall when we were dating back in the day. And I got a phone call that Saddam Hussein had invaded Kuwait. Remember those days?
Yes, sir.
So
when my dad got deployed.
Got a little bit of trouble, but we called back to our first sergeant and said, we came home, of course, to party in St. Augustine. So they flew, airlines were flying us all back. And then within, I think, 18 hours, or 20-something hours, we were actually boots on ground in Saudi Arabia. So just special people in our lives. And again, it's men and women, it's children. And it's not suffering, it's sacrifice that we raise our right hand and do it. And I would do it all over again, And I think it makes a marriage stronger, I'll be honest with you, because she gets it, she understands it. So if I'm gone a day or two working homicide, back when I was working homicide, those were easy days. I'm in the state. Yeah. And again, my son, currently, he's gone, he's home. The poor kid, he flies for the United States military counter drug operations. So he's gone all the time. So just special people, and I couldn't do it without her.
Did you do anything super sentimental during those times when you were away? Like my dad would handwrite letters. That was his thing.
Yeah,
he loved
me too.
to do that. What kind of things did you do to keep the flame alive with Kendall?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, because there was certain times, in my last deployment in 2003 and 2004, we went 30 days without speaking just because of our movement. They didn't want to track our movement, our operational movement. But I would remember those little disposable cameras?
Yeah.
You open them up, and you take these pictures and you send them to them.
Yeah.
So what I would do is actually in 2003, 2004, she would send me a few. I'd take photos so my kids and my wife understood what I was doing, that Dad wasn't away partying per se.
Right, true.
So I did that, and then also too, I handwrote a lot of letters too, and just kind of trying what the day's work is. And we had satellite phones, so I would always call her like before mission and just say, hey, we're heading out somewhere. Yeah. And I'll call you when we get back. And some days it would be days on end she wouldn't hear from us. And and she always knew if you didn't see something on the news and we were alive, And then of course, as we did, I lost one of my soldiers, and Jeff Warshow got killed in action with me on July 6th in 2003. And all she saw was the news. We couldn't call. We were on operation in central Baghdad, and things went south on us. And Jeff Warshow was killed with me. And so just things like that. I mean, because they lived by the TV back then, they still live, because you're just waiting, hoping every day that another 24 hours goes through and there's not a death. Well, back then it was a Florida soldier was killed, and that was on all national news, and she saw it. And I didn't get a chance we just couldn't call. There was too much chaos going on. And, Jeff got medevac back into Kuwait out of central Baghdad. And we thought he was alive at the time, but he was shot in the head. But just crazy things go on in our lives. And but it's just special people. And it's a great, I love going on a military base, an Army military base. There's something about that false sense of security. And that people in uniform and, the regulation haircuts and, clean shaven. It's just something that, of course, I love to be a part of, and I'm honored to be a part of, and truly blessed to. But I mean, I couldn't do it without Kendall. She was been a rock star through this stuff.
100%.
Yeah.
Enduring human being. Love that lady.
Yeah. Blessed.
I've never heard all that story. That's wild, man.
I got more. We can sit down.
All right, one day we'll do a whole show.
I don't drink, so it's no fun.
That would be an interesting, actually, sit down to do. Just talking about your service, what you went through, what the family went through. Because I think a lot of people don't understand. I told these guys recently, for some reason, my YouTube algorithm has been sending me GoPro footage of individuals in combat.
Yeah.
From Ukraine and things like this. So been watching some of that, and boy, obviously you don't even get a feel for what it's like out there just from watching these videos. But I've got a totally different perspective just from seeing that firsthand perspective of what it's like, hearing people shooting at you all the time.
Sure.
I mean, it's just people can't even understand it.
And I think you and I were talking, Pete, and I when people attack my military benefits, they're idiots, by the way. And I'm not saying that I deserve them or not, but this is how the military takes care of their down the road. It takes a long time to get there.
Yeah.
But I wish I could just take some of these people that talk stuff about, getting military benefits and come live with me in my shoes, for 15 months over in.
It wouldn't even take that. Give them 15 minutes and they'd be scared out of their shoes. And they'd be ready to go back.
But again, I don't cry poor mouth about that. They want to tap my military benefits, and because of what the VA gives me, I mean, that's their prerogative. But go walk in the shoes of our military servicemen and women that serve all over the world, of course, and serve stateside here, and you'll figure out, why the military takes care of us.
They deserve those benefits.
And of course, we were on peanuts.
More.
I have to laugh because we were at Fort Bragg, and I make a comment all the time to Kendall that she married me when I had nothing. I mean, I was a private United States Army making nothing. And people don't even know what WIC means, women, infant, and children. Every Friday, we got free bread, egg, cheese, and milk. Yeah. And people don't understand that. And that's what we were soldiers fighting in war, could carry a rifle and deploy anywhere in the world. But yet we couldn't afford to pay our bills at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Yeah. And we had qualified for WIC and food stamps and everything else. But I would go back and live it again because we have so much life experience. But that girl married me when we had nothing. I mean, I was
so you're
private.
saying your humor really sold the deal, right?
I don't know what the hell it was.
Personality.
I don't know what it was, maybe. Yeah. It sure wasn't my good looks. I'm sure it was. I was straight entertainment.
Well,
back
we weren't even gonna say it was your good looks.
No,
we weren't even thinking that.
The charmer over here.
That could be a story by itself one day. We'll bring her back on.
Yeah, that would be great.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a great conversation.
She's got some stuff to say because now her son's serving.
Right.
So but and then the other day, we can't get a hold of him all the time, so we'll text him just to make sure he's okay. But he doesn't text and fly, especially in military helicopter.
Sure.
He's just that guy. He's very, very safe. And of course, he's a pilot in charge. So he won't text us back. And then sometimes he'll just say, hey, I'm just flying. So now he's got a little thing on there. He just clicks on the app and says, I'm flying.
Auto response.
As long as we know you're alive, we don't care.
Yeah.
But anyways, truly blessed. And it was an honor, privilege. And I got a beautiful wife out of it.
So I want to talk about what was in our headline here today. And that is this update on a body that was found in Crescent Beach 39 years ago.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive that, this is a case you guys are still working on at the sheriff's office, and you have identified this body that was found. Talk to me about how that happens 40 years later. What kind of evidence do you still have that
Sure.
you're able to use?
Yeah.
And what is this new DNA technology that allowed you guys to solve this?
You know, genetic genealogy it's relatively new. 2018, it kind of started coming to fruition, being used forensically by law enforcement in investigations for basically solving unidentified remains that we had in our custody and control. It's kind of like going back to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, right? Because a lot of that stuff was identified, of course, through myocardial DNA, DNA samples from loved ones, which is the genetic part of it. But anyways, this case was 1985. I will tell you this: our men and women of the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office that work in our major case unit and our forensics unit, our evidence unit, they do not give up. I mean, the last thing we want to do is not have closure for a loved one. And I'm not saying that detective work was bad back then, but we didn't have what we have nowadays.
Right.
But to solve a case from 1985, on Mary Alice Pultz, now that was missing and kind of written off per se.
Sure.
But so with that, again, forensics genetics, of course, is something that's been around a little bit longer because of the forensic side of the house, of course, the genetic part, of course, we have, let's just say, a body on autopsy. We have the tissue, we have the samples. This was something, of course, I studied when I was in homicide for a long time. And then now, fast forward, think how many people are so interested in their own genetics, their family genetics, their genealogy of where they came from, who they're related to,
Sometimes it makes me nervous, though.
I have to agree with you. But what's happening, though, is you're getting a lot of people that are feeding into a database voluntarily.
Right.
So we're not tapping into that database. What we're doing is we're tapping into the companies that have that database, that have the permission to use it, because it's technically their property. So what we're doing is we're basically taking the forensic genetic side of the house, we're using it with the genetic side of the house, and then doing the genealogy, basically, research, putting it all together with a little bit of old-fashioned police work, going back and looking through these cases and sitting down. And in this particular case, this is Sergeant Gene Tolbert did a phenomenal job. These guys are passionate. They just want to bring answers. And the phone call when you make to a family member saying, we know this is your mother, it gives a little bit of closure. We do have some work to do in this case. I say our major crimes unit, they're doing a lot of work on it. We believe the suspect who was charged in another murder, who was on death row in Georgia, has actually died since then, so we can't kind of go down that road, but everything is kind of pointing back to him, and it seems like that was his modus operandi back in the day.
So what does the emotion look like in a family when they find out that 40 years later, you know what I mean? Like, does that change the response?
Sure. It's funny. You think about, 1985, think what you were doing in 1985, of course. And
I was one.
Okay, I was not. But do you remember what you were doing?
Oh yeah, totally, clearly. I was telling my mom I don't want to wear a diaper anymore, and that I want to be my own man. I'm ready to move out.
Definitely.
Tarzan.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But yeah, Davey, you look back and think about. Of course, I never want to. I can't be in their shoes. But you think of somebody missing the family member since 1985, and you learn to move on, but never accept moving on, and always waiting for that phone call, from the sheriff's office or from whoever, going, "Hey, we think we got a tip in this." And I think they've waited on that forever. Now, there was some contact down the road in the years prior to, as far as like, we kind of knew who the suspect was, but didn't know who who Mary Alice Pultz was at the time. So with that being said, the phone call was emotional. Of course, it's two of her kids that are grown adults and have their own kids and their own kids kind of thing. So it was very powerful that it just shows you that we just don't give up, and these cases don't always go unsolved. We're proud of our cold case, and what we're doing now with this genetic genealogy stuff is new, 2018, and what they're doing with it. And more people are pouring into this thing with their buccal swabs and stuff and putting their own DNA in this system. So it's powerful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's just so impressive to see you guys working on something like this and making progress in case. I mean,
Sure.
a lot of people just assume that, well, if we're not talking about it in the news and you guys aren't putting out press releases, that you're not working on it, but that's not the case at all.
Not at all.
Very, very impressive.
Yeah,
very
especially when you have bones, and of course you saw the video, and Taylor Levesque, I'm sure if you met her yet, but we hired her from First Coast News, and she was an investigative reporter, young kid, came from the University of Florida, criminology degree, journalist degree, and now, she just did a good piece that really sold it and marketed it of what our men and women did. So pretty cool, pretty powerful. Yeah, exciting times.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Hey, it's National Correction Officer Appreciation Week, right?
Yeah, it is.
I know you're always big on not only recognizing your men and women that are out there in the streets, in the cars, but also in your jails, in your correction systems, behind the comms desks.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your men and women who are in there in that corrections world. Man, that's a different world. That's a world, again, that a lot of people don't get to see.
It is. It's another special person, just like, United States military member and their spouses and stuff like that. It's just special people. But we have 143 deputy sheriffs that work in our jail. Last year we had over 6,200 basically admissions or arrests that came in through our booking process in there. Right now our population is kind of not really low, but it's actually sustainable, meaning that, we can actually do some things like, mental health awareness and substance abuse like we talked about in the past. But these men and women are on shift work just like the rest of our deputy sheriffs. They're paid the same amount of money as a starting deputy sheriff. They're in the same uniform. They go through the same training. The only difference is they take a path of corrections as opposed to a path of patrol per se.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So that's the only difference. But again, we just have some amazing men and women there. A lot of them came from other places around the state of Florida, Department of Corrections, Jacksonville, Putnam, Clay, Flagler County, kind of surrounding counties area. So what they do is it's care, custody, and control. But it's not just that. It's actually investing into our community because they are our community, meaning that the people that serve time in our gated community, they're part-time residents, just being honest with you. So with that, again, it's investing in them and opening your hearts and your minds and, being a little bit innovative. If we want to do a outreach program, a pre-arrest program or a pre-trial program. But also, too, those deputy sheriffs guard all of our judges here, our circuit judges and our county court judges. They also protect our courthouse and all of our Board of County Commissioner buildings. So just a bigger job. They transport, of course, all of our inmates that are, of course, from other institutions or belong somewhere else. It's just a much bigger picture. But there's some of the most. We added 2 brand new canine dogs, which we talked about, Cora and Raven, to our jail. So it's just a special place that truly is trying to take care of people that are temporarily going through the system somehow or another. So just amazing men and women that do a great job for me. I'm so proud of them. And we have had a great week thanking them with, meals being donated, some coffee and donuts and some pastries came in. And today, the last 2 days, we've been cooking across the street from here.
I saw that. Yeah, I was wondering what was going on.
So feeding
out
our
there.
people, just feeding our people just to say, hey, we simply appreciate you. But also, too, I don't want to forget there's another 100 people that work behind the scenes that are not sworn employees in the jail. So, we have about 250, 260 employees that actually work in the jail for that care, custody, and control of all these people that are temporarily passing through our gated community. So, special people.
Yeah, very
great people.
Yeah,
and some of them actually go to the road, by the way. So I started my career in a jail.
Okay.
My brother-in-law started his career in the jail, so I understand it, I respect it, and I appreciate what they do.
Well, I think our friend Mel Lewis started his career in the jail as well.
Mel did, yeah.
I knew Mel when he was first starting that
Mel's
job.
awesome, buddy.
And boy, he was so excited to be part of the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
I mean, he really, really was. And to see where he is now and what he's doing now.
Sure.
And I love his work with you guys' torch run.
Yeah, our special needs kids,
man.
yeah.
And obviously that's personal for him, and
Yes,
he
sir.
just loves doing that. And
Yeah.
we love Mel and having it. But it is so cool how people start in one place and they progress and they
Yeah.
reach goals in different areas.
Yeah.
Man. And you guys are open to obviously promoting from within.
Sure,
and,
we are.
and getting people in
Yeah.
places where they love being.
In a perfect world, really, if I could take everybody and they work 2 to 3 years in corrections, you learn those people skills. You have to deal with every race, creed, color, religion, sexual orientation, and age, but you have to do it with your mouth. So it's a lot of techniques of de-escalation. You may have the tool belt on, but the tool belt is empty. The gun's in the locker, the bullets are in the locker. So
Right.
there's a lot of tools you have, but really it's how you handle people with your mouth, the way you treat people. So if you take a deputy sheriff from the jail 2 or 3 years and put them on the road, I guarantee you their use of force, they're just everything. It's not better than everybody else, but it's just they have mastered those skills to survive in a jail environment. Sure.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Speaking of Torch Run, it's coming up soon, so I'm just saying.
June
right?
1st, right?
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
June 1st. Yeah.
Okay.
Very
Wow.
Yeah, actually, my wife told me Kendall told me to put that out because she's on
Just
the.
text me.
Oh, did she? She's so
He's like,
awesome.
make sure he says it.
She's so awesome. Yeah,
so
I
good.
physically was put.
That's great.
Because she'll believe Davey, not me, but LEO Torch Run right here, Davey.
No, it is
Okay,
there.
it is
Kendall.
written.
Thank you,
It
Kendall.
is written there.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a beautiful organic segue, I gotta say. That was awesome.
I was like, I know. I saw you say, I'm like, that damn Kendall. She does pay attention.
Well, that's great. We got to get Mel in. Mel, if you're watching, we got to get you in.
He's
Yeah.
always watching. He's a loyal listener, buddy.
I
He's
know it,
always,
man.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
him.
Love him.
Yeah, you guys
Love
been
him.
good to us.
Let's see. You touched on mental health a little bit.
Yep.
As well. I know this is a big thing for you. So talk about kind of your approach to mental health within your organization since you've become sheriff and kind of some of the programs you've instituted in the
So I'll kind of
sheriff's
talk
office.
internally first and then go externally because I felt like if we can make our people, mentally fit, physically fit, financially fit, spiritually fit, we will provide a better service, of course, to our constituents. So with that, when I came on board here, I brought Dr. Tracy Hedgemanowski with me. She was at the Beach PD. She is a retired, she's a Navy veteran, and she came in as our agency psychologist for all of our people. This is not just for deputy sheriffs because you got record clerks that are reading all the records. of all these reports that we're
Right.
taking, these heinous and atrocious crimes.
right, yeah.
And then, of course, you got people in our inmate facility who are dealing with, maybe an overdose or a suicide, or people that are mentally ill, or maybe just detoxing. And then, of course, you got our comms operator who never get that visual picture. They always get the sound, of the 911 calls.
Right,
So we
right.
brought her in here. We started doing station dogs. Of course, we have Simba and we have Sandy, our 2 station dogs, which they were honored this week along with the Jacksonville Sheriff TK Waters up in Jacksonville, with Canines for Warriors.
Yeah.
They came from that house there. But we just started doing things, and financial fitness is also part of mental health fitness.
Yeah, I mean, because let's be honest, if you are stressing over, it's one of the biggest
It's one of the biggest-
stressors we
by
face.
far. It is. So the goal was, and we just added a brand new app on our phones called Cortico. Cortico has everything you can imagine there: peer-to-peer, getting a hold of the sheriff, substance abuse, mental health, anything you can think of, financial counseling. All the resources we have now are accessible via app, and you also
Wow.
can push the phone at the bottom. It goes to basically a 911 operator per se.
Really?
That kind of triages your problems, and it's all confidential.
Wow.
Yes, we just started that about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months
That's a
ago.
great idea.
It's phenomenal, and really getting bringing faith-based services back in there. Every denomination, or it doesn't matter what you believe in, but we want you to be able to believe in something, of course, and be able to participate in things. So just doing some things different. Our peer-to-peer was revamped, and the old EAP days are really just it's a check in the box. So I think on that
What's
end
EAP?
of it, EAP is the old Employee Assistance Program. It was basically a
Okay.
check in the box where employers would provide assistance to you for mental health, substance abuse.
Okay.
But it was call 1-800 number. It was probably in India, for goodness sakes. Who
It
knows?
wasn't as personal
It wasn't
as
as
this
personal,
and
correct.
connected.
Yeah, this is
Right.
in your face, And again, just our wellness program is bringing Sigma in and catching people that have, carotid issues, and just fixing people to make them, they want to come to work. And it's little things. I know this sounds crazy, but we're back to, we pray to God before every event, or say a prayer to God before every event, and we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. That's just the way it is. Now, we don't ask you to pray the same. Maybe you don't believe in the same God. It's okay. Just take a moment of silence, be thankful for what you have in life.
Yeah.
So on
Meditate
that,
your life.
I
Yeah.
have to, and then
Yeah.
the pendulum swings the other way now. With that, you provide better services to the people that are calling and asking for assistance. So what we've done now too is we added a brand new a social worker to the car. It's called a co-responder program. We have a co-responder, Leslie Waller. She's phenomenal. She sits with one of our deputy sheriffs in a patrol car. She's a social worker, and she's now an expert. So we go to these cases where people are actually at their worst moments, their darkest times, whether it be alcohol abuse, substance abuse, or some type of mental illness. We got this social worker right now going, they don't need to go to jail. They need to go here. They need to go there. Let's get the resources they need for them. So that's a
Yeah.
co-responder program we started about 6 months ago. It is phenomenal. So
That's awesome.
Trying to save lives. yeah.
I got to tell you what's really interesting and impressive about your administration here is, I have voted as an NPA or independent most of my life.
Right.
But I switched to Republican because I do that
Yep.
to vote for you.
That's crazy. Thank you.
However, if you take kind of the national temperature, you think about these things like mental health counseling, you think about social workers in vehicles, you think about body cams.
Yeah.
These are issues that traditionally out there in the national sphere are considered issues that are on the left, right? I love how you take these issues that it's like, well, is this suggestion valid? Is the suggestion of body cams valid? Can we do this? And you do implement those things. You implement it if it works.
Sure.
If you think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And
But you
these
do it the
things
right
seem to
way,
be
though,
working.
too.
Right. And it's not along political lines
Totally
is what
agree.
I'm trying to say.
That's a good point too. Sometimes we're steered in the direction because people we don't stand on our own 2 feet as leaders. Well, me as a leader, I stand on my own 2 feet. And with that being said, what I say is I look at it from the 10,000-foot view going, how does it benefit everybody, not just me? How does it benefit our agency and the people that we serve? And I think what we've done, of course, over the years is that this is the book, this is the doctrine version, this is the way the book is written, so you got to use the doctrine version. You can't do that. You've got to step back, listen to your people, watch how the reaction is, and go, okay, that's not working. And who cares what the left, the right, the blue, the green, who cares what they say?
Yeah.
You got to do what's best for everybody. I told Lady the other day that I don't care I don't care what you believe in. I'm still going to respond to your house. I don't have the autonomy to go to your house and go, are you Republican, Democrat? I don't care what you are. We don't care what you are.
Yeah.
We provide a service to you regardless of what you look like, what you believe in. We don't care.
Yeah.
And with that being said, politics are politics. We'll get
You
to
believe in the freedom, and that's what
have
you
to
as
agree
a
with
soldier.
you. Sure,
Yeah, absolutely.
sure. Yeah. So it's just, and my staff comes to me with some phenomenal ideas that I didn't even think of going, this is how we can provide a better service to our people in St. Johns County. Let's do it. Try it.
Yeah.
Try it. And we do it. And if it fails, who cares? We get rid of it
Yeah.
or revamp it and do something different. This job, I've never been an addictive person. And as you know, I don't smoke, I don't drink, but I have an addiction to my job. And I love coming to work. I can't wait to come to work tomorrow morning, this weekend, to see my people. I can't wait to walk through the jail and see my people. And I love my wife. I love everything else in my life. But man, I got a great thing going on with a great agency with a bunch of people that actually care.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. This mental health stuff, it worries me.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching the suicide stuff. I'm seeing the pendulum swing where women are actually using guns to commit suicide, which wasn't a thing back at one time. So I'm kind of seeing this. I'm seeing this murder-suicide thing pick up, where people in their older ages of life just can't afford to survive anymore. Whether they're sick or whether their benefits have run out or they're no longer receiving money. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, this mental health stuff is. I'm trying everything we can, and we're listening to everybody we can to implement anything that we can do in place for our people or for the community to make us a better place.
I wish you did more for teens and driving.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, you are?
Teens and driving. They're not the best.
The teen driving.
I got another text.
That Davey. I love that, man. So we're from mental health over to teen driving.
Wow.
Here we
Hey.
go.
Beautiful
Mental
segue.
health driving. Yeah, we got 6 spots left, by the way, in our Florida Teen Challenge.
What is this?
So Florida Sheriff's Association has had a teen driving challenge, basically it serves 2 purposes here, because it sticks our deputy sheriffs in a car with a teen that's getting their driver's license. So you get that rapport going.
That's intimidating.
It's awesome, and we got a great partnership with actually Hennany actually Chevy has loaned us some cars, because a lot of kids in the south part of the county and the north part of the county don't have cars.
Right.
So anyway, so we're doing this teen challenge. Our deputy sheriffs are running it all summer long. We did a little preempt during the spring break. And next thing you know, the floodgates are open and all these kids are signing up from our local schools here in St. Johns County.
Fun.
Yeah, so it'll be out to our driving track, controlled environment.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
It's like wear a helmet.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. Super excited. Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah, man.
Now, we're going to do a little bit of business here. We're going to tell
Please.
people where they can get some gas on some good prices. We're going to give them their live music report. But I want to come back and talk a little bit about a woman who worked on the Brawl of the Badges, who just received a pretty cool honor.
Chrissy Pageant, rock star.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
man. Well, I was going to tease it, but you
sorry,
you
just
just threw it all out there. Okay, fine. Yes, we're going to be talking about Chrissy and very cool stuff. I know you're excited about this, but first let's talk about something people are not excited about: gas prices.
Gosh, can you do something there?
Yeah, right. How do we work on gas prices for the sheriff's office? Let's shake them down a little bit at these gas stations. The Owens out there at 780 South Ponce at $3.34 this morning. We got the Sunoco at $21.99 North Ponce at $3.39 with their cash price. The Citgo at $10.99 South Ponce, $3.39 as well. That's their cash price. The Shell at 146 King Street, $3.42. That is the same with the Shell at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard. We've got the Gate on Mizell Road at $3.45. A1A Discount Beverage Ashwin out there on the island, $3.45 as well. And your Circle K at 4564 US 1 North, $3.49.
All right, we got Tim coming in on a clutch. Wawa $3.21 and Costco $3.25. So
Okay.
Wawa is officially less expensive than Costco.
That's wild.
First time ever. Thanks, Tim.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, we're making strides.
I like it.
Making
Wawa.
strides, Wawa.
Wow, wow, wow. That was horrible, yeah.
Oh, well, if you get in trouble for taking my suggestion and trying to shake down an attendant in a gas station,
Not a good idea.
It's not going to work. You're
Nope.
going to go to jail.
Definitely.
Yep. You will meet Sheriff Hardwick in a way you don't want to meet the sheriff out
all
there
those
from a jail cell.
Great corrections
But
officers, yeah.
Chris Lucero will get you out of jail. He wants you getting back to your real life. He wants you getting back to your job so you can pay for your eventual court costs. 904-822-BAIL. 904-824-2245. We've also got live music coming to St. Augustine today and tonight. A lot of live music.
Oh, boy.
This will give the sheriff a good amount of time to check those texts. and
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
So this will take a little while.
Someone keeps trying to call me my staff, so I'm sure it's something halfway important.
Oh, no.
Caleb Joy, the seller upstairs at 1 o'clock. Paper City Hustlers at the Conch House at 4. Michael Jordan.
Whoa, really?
Well, you know, the singer Michael Jordan, not Scottie Pippen's teammate.
And he's not related to Montel. Okay.
Not related to Montel. 4 o'clock, Barillos. We got Reggie Starrett at DJ's Clam Shack at 5. Lonesome Bert's Thick and Thin String Band, Marina Munch at 5. We got Cholula at the Pesca Volano.
very
there you go.
nice.
6 o'clock. Allen Arena at Hurricane Patty's at 6. Lauren Gilliam. Trinity Parish Episcopal Church, 6 o'clock. Yeah, Burn Unit. Fusion 904 Eatery at 6. Committee at the cellar upstairs at 6. Contact Buzz at Hurricanes at 6. Remedy Tree, St. Augustine Food and Wine Festival.
Oh, yeah.
6:30. Jolie at Casa Divino 57 at 7. Cumberland at the Colonial Oak at 7. The Space Heaters, Pierre's Pub, 7 o'clock. Brian Rowland. Pussers? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Hussers, yeah.
You did a great
Ponte
job.
Vedra.
Well, I always say it wrong.
It's just a hard one to like really make sure you get
It's
it right.
really not.
Well, it is for me.
Yeah, it just is a word that makes you stop and think.
Yes, it is. 7 o'clock. Kirk Whalen, Mayday Ice Cream at 7 o'clock. Groove Pipe Band, A1AO Works at 8. Smoke and Joe Shower at Meehan's at 8. And True Phonic at Prohibition Kitchen at 10 o'clock. Of course, Griffin Services brings us that live music mic check, where your home's comfort is their top priority. They specialize in AC, plumbing, and electrical services, plus unique offerings like standby generators, water softeners, and they do gas work for your outdoor kitchens, your fireplaces, your fire pits, all that good stuff. 904-500-2653. Also, our good friends at Fidus Roofing. Hurricane season is almost upon us, and now is the best time to get your roof inspected. If you have damages now, you want to document those before a hurricane comes, so they don't chalk it up to the hurricane and you have to pay those extra high hurricane damages on your insurance. Local company for 15 years. All their employees live right here in St. Johns County. They're Fidus Roofing, 904-355-ROOF.
They do pavers.
And gutters. Yeah.
He does the and gutters part for Troy when he's gone,
Yeah.
too, which is
Do
great.
it just like Troy.
Just like Troy.
little guttural.
Yeah. All right. Sheriff, let's talk about Chrissy Paget.
Yes.
She was obviously instrumental in training for the Florida Man Games Brawl of the Badges event.
Yes, which was awesome.
And she just got a special honor from Guns N' Hoses, right?
Yeah, she did. So, Chrissy Pageant, she started with the San Augustine Beach Police Department. I was the chief over there, of course.
Yeah.
And she came in and she wants to do something else, outside of law enforcement. So I said, what do you do? She said she kickboxes.
Okay.
At the time, she was they danced. She was in a dance crew or club, something like that, too, at the time. I think
Assuming high kicks were involved.
Yeah, I assume, yes. And she, of course, she was a dancer at University of Florida when she was going to college there.
Okay.
Yep. So the kid's just a stud. But anyway, so she came in and she said she was in kickboxing. I said, what about, Guns and Hoses? I don't know about that. I don't box. I kick, kickbox kind of thing. Anyways, long story short, we kind of reassigned her to the fight house up in Jacksonville. She became the Guns and Hoses champ.
Yeah.
Her first fight was against a firefighter named Jamie, who was undefeated. And they had a draw. I thought Chrissy pulled it out, but that was her first fight. On that level. So after that, she went and we fought. We kind of brought her around the state of Florida and kind of kicked butt. It was kind of
She
cool.
became a star in the boxing
she's a
ring,
stud.
man.
The kid's a stud. And her beautiful wife, Corinne, is just a special person. So anyway, so they inducted her into the Hall of Fame just this past Guns N' Hoses a few weekends ago, which is a big to do.
That's big.
Yeah,
that is
so
a
they
big
had it at
deal.
the University of North Florida. We were up there with, of course, her mom and her family and her wife, and just a good kid. Chrissy Pageant, special person. She now is one of our trainers in our fight house here. All of our people go through level 1 and 2 of jiu-jitsu now because we're kind of getting away from, let's go back to old school kind of thing of doing some control.
Rocky Balboa style.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The other day I had to laugh because I walked in there and her and Brett Edens, who's one of he's the master of our fight house here, and they were on the ground rolling in there. I'm like, my goodness gracious. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But she's just a good kid. I'm proud of her and proud of her family, of course, and her wife. And
amazing.
yeah, and so she's in the Hall of Fame up there. So big news. Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
pretty awesome.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
Yes.
She's great.
Yes,
she was
she is.
instrumental in that.
She is.
in
She
that
works so
event at
hard
Florida
behind
Man
the
Games.
scenes too in the Brawl of the Badges. And
Yeah, man.
going forward here too. I mean, she's like the Trey basically. She's our production person,
Yeah.
So she did a phenomenal job, and she's a talented kid. And even though she's a Florida Gator, she's a good kid.
Oh, wow.
I'm
Had
just
to
kidding. I
throw
love
that
her.
in
I
there.
throw that in there,
Had
of
to
course.
throw
Listen,
that in there.
I paid the bills to Florida State University. I had no choice. I got to root.
You're totally locked in out there. Yeah. Shelled out
Had to
enough
pay the
money for
bills.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But thanks for actually bringing that up. Appreciate it.
So I got a related. You guys coming back for evading arrest obstacle course next year? Florida Man Games?
We're in.
Whoa, cool.
Those,
Yeah, man.
those deputy sheriffs are so excited. Mike Attell, of course, and Miggs.
Yeah.
And now Deputy Attell actually works directly for the office of the sheriff. And Deputy Miggs got a Deputy of the Year, Rookie Deputy of
Wow.
the Year. Yep. And then the female, too, Danielle Giroux, she now works. She came out of our DUI unit. She actually works in my office of the sheriff now, too, as well. But we're all in, brother.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I got to tell you, we saw the video you guys released, the helicopter video of the guy who tried to run from you guys
We
a couple
saw
of weeks
this.
ago.
Yeah.
And as soon as he got out and started running, I was like, oh no, these guys are good at this. He ain't getting nowhere.
My God, it was a rocket ship. That was a rocket ship. I think it was Tanner Oglesby that actually chased him down, or Adam
He was
Emenizer.
so
Okay.
fast.
He was so fast, he actually overran him.
Right. Yeah, he did overrun him.
Right.
So you know,
was
it's funny you
wild.
said that because you go back now to the helicopter. That's
Yeah.
that tool we have to have.
Right.
Because as you see, our deputy sheriffs backed off to let that car drive like an idiot. And our helicopter unit never lost it.
Right.
And then also, too, it captures at the end, too, because we did find some additional evidence, of course, based on the helicopter video, too, as well.
Really?
Yeah. And that's the 1969. That's the
Really?
Vietnam helicopter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
that's
got
the
no
one
choice.
we were loaning out for the traffic report.
We got no choice right now. We got to fly the old one. But anyways, the new ones, the newer ones, getting a paint job actually. So, but anyways,
Okay.
yeah, just that's our task force guys. You're going to see a bunch of unmarked white cars out there that actually glow green at the bottom. And that's our task force people. So they're working our high crime areas, our areas of interest, meaning if we're going to have, if we're finding stolen cars or people coming through the county from other jurisdictions are coming through here, then there's something going on, probably social media wise. So they're really hitting 95 with traffic interdiction, with human interdiction, sex traffic interdiction, drugs, guns. So those unmarked white cars, which you saw in that video. And then it was funny because as the thing panned out, the white cars were gone. It was
Right,
deputy sheriff
right.
cars. It was kind of funny. But yeah, I'll give that shout out to Tanner Oglesby. He's a rocket ship.
That was impressive.
Yeah,
man.
them boys have been training in there.
was
Yeah,
impressive.
them boys have been training.
Septimus Prime is no match.
Oh yeah, Septimus was
I've
that
known
guy's name.
Septimus his whole life.
Have you really?
Oh my God,
Oh,
Septimus
this is
Connor.
sad then. Come on,
you
man.
know, it's one of those things of the day, and I'm going to eventually go by in the jail and see him go, come on, man. But he's been an entrepreneur. A salesman,
Okay.
yeah, a
All
salesman for a
right.
majority of his adult life, and, and
it's-
he's going to serve some time on this one.
So many of those people, I grew up with a couple salesmen too.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
But when a lot of those people transition into legitimate work, boy, are they good at legitimate work.
Yeah, seriously.
It's
Yeah.
just getting
Customer
out of
service.
that. It's just getting out of that mindset
Yes.
of I have to do illegal things to survive.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and I'm sure you go over in our reentry program now, and you talk to people that are out there now that are actually working, going, this is just as much an adrenaline rush that you can do it legally, not have to worry about your door getting kicked in.
Right,
Or-
exactly.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't want to say who he was because he's still in my jail because he's I used to play football with him and he's in our county jail. And the other day he said, Sheriff, I'm not gonna lie, he goes, I never seen you guys so good at car chasing and foot chasing before. He goes, you guys are good in St. John's County, so we're practicing. It's like a football team getting ready for the playoffs.
Right? Yeah, man.
So our
What
men and
happens
women
with
are.
like innocent people in a chase like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like that he hit two
Yep,
cars.
yep.
What happens to those two cars? I always wanted to ask you that.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
in the
good question.
commission of a felony, he can be charged for any of, and unfortunately too, this happens too, is let's just say, God forbid, and I hope it doesn't happen in my career, but that where he's running from the law enforcement and he hits an innocent person going through and kills him, let's say, or serious bodily injury, he can be charged with his actions caused that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he'll be charged with all those crimes too as well. I
So
mean,
I still have to drive a broken car until we get paid. Like, how does that happen?
You do, pretty much.
It really does. It works just like any other insurance claim would
Good
work with a
gracious.
quick check. I mean, we help a lot of people too because
I'm
yeah,
sure,
because
yeah.
sometimes people just do stupid things, and we got to help people that just can't afford to. But we help a lot of people. But in that situation, those cars just go through a normal claim as a traffic crash per se.
it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but he gets charged and actually held accountable, which. Way down the road, when he gets sentenced or when he goes through the court system, he'll be held liable for anything that was, of course, but it takes time, of course, but he'll be held for all that doing his probationary period. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. May 20th, opioid awareness seminar out
Yes.
there at Fruit Cove Baptist Church.
Yep.
This happening at 6:30. How are you guys involved in this?
Yeah, so we're putting together a panel. This opioid stuff again. We're just an educational piece, not just for the community, but backwards on us too as well from hearing from the community.
It hasn't gone away. We've heard a lot less about it, but the
has.
problem hasn't gone away.
I hate to say it. We like move on so quick in this country. It's like we're like it's almost like that squirrel. But we've moved on. We haven't moved on, though. No. We in the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, we in law enforcement, we are fire rescue people, we in emergency services, ERs and stuff, have not moved on. So it's an educational piece. Check onto our social media platforms and see what we got going on. We'd love to have you out there. We appreciate the Fruit Cove Baptist Church actually hosting us up there. We're going to have a panel discussion basically with our community members. We're going to share some facts and stuff that are going on, whether it's suicide related or overdose, non-fatal or fatal overdose related, and just talk about some awareness too, as far as like what ages are we seeing? we're seeing everything. It's back to that same comment I made earlier. It does not discriminate. It's every race, creed, color, religion, sexual orientation, and age. It's kind of crazy. So again, this is a huge organizational a piece and basically a community involvement engagement piece where we can actually discuss this together with the experts.
You know, fentanyl is obviously you know about this
Sure.
disastrous drug, and it's kind of taken center stage as far as these types of drugs are concerned. What's changed over the last few years in your department as far as how you guys approach different situations with the threat of this drug being out there in so many almost mundane situations? I mean, somebody could accidentally run into fentanyl on a traffic stop.
Yeah, we've seen videos across the country.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, first of all, I'm going to kind of back up a little bit. You know, when this fentanyl was created, of course, it was a time-release patch that you would cancer patients that were terminally ill.
Right.
That was kind of their pain patch. So it was a very large Band-Aid, usually like a 3x3, and you would see the gel in there as it was time release, of course, into your body through your skin. Anyways, fast forward now to where Mexico is making it more potent, more accessible, at a better cost per se, and it's you can get it anywhere. I hate to say, but you can get it now just like you can marijuana.
Yeah.
So with that, we had to kind of adjust fire, educate our people, and I'm one of the world's worst too as well. Just put your gloves on, use the resources that we give you, the protective equipment that we give you. But I gotta maybe this is not the way to say this, but our men and women aren't afraid. It's kind of crazy. Our deputy sheriffs aren't afraid that they're doing their job, and I honestly think we've been touching this probably our whole careers, or something just like this. But we just had to educate, make sure that we have all the resources for them. And of course, we have some technology we're using now, you know, through the DEA and our detective that works with the DEA, that you can actually put the drug on an actual surface, actually where it identifies what basically how it's made, what the components are to the actual drug in there. But, you know, we got our dogs searching cars. We got our people in there, our human beings, and they're searching these cars. You got people that are carrying on them, but it goes back to the old loaded needle day. It's just, it's no difference in the loaded needle.
Oh,
I mean, it's that same thing with that loaded needle. It's like, anything in your pockets? No, not at all. Next thing you go in the pocket and you get jabbed with a needle that's got heroin or, you know, methamphetamine or something like that.
Yeah.
So again, we're just trying to do the best we can with providing the resources that we have, of course, and educating our deputy sheriffs and making sure they do the first report of injury, of course, and this stuff when they're exposed to it. But I think we're all exposed to it, meaning that we all are.
Yeah.
I think it's everywhere. And I think it's almost as prevalent as the old marijuana days. And I think people are handling it and they're touching us, they're shaking our hands, they're using a gas pump. I mean, I think it's out there more prevalent than what we know. So
That's why your
that's
uniform is
interesting.
polyester.
yeah,
Yep.
there you go. Thank
Absorb
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank you, Davey.
Cotton will let it.
It's like fire retardant, but it's not.
Now I'm even more afraid to go to the gas pump, as if prices
seen me-
weren't
have you seen me at a
scaring
gas
me
pump?
enough.
And I'm not that guy either. I mean, I walk
Yeah.
my jail. I
Yeah,
search
tell me,
people.
what do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I get the paper towel out.
Do you really?
I even
Oh,
touch the
wow.
buttons
Bro,
now.
I'm doing that forever now. Yeah, I'm doing that
My wife
forever
said the other
now.
day, she goes, "What is wrong with you?" I said, "Nothing. I don't know."
It's the
She
right
goes, "You're
move.
working in the most nastiest places of the world,
Yeah.
foreign countries." I'm like,
Yeah.
I know, but now I see things clearer.
I see things way clearer from the show. Thank you for
So I'm
telling
telling
me.
you, you'll see me get out of my car. I've even had that stupid plastic glove on, and then I'll see somebody. I'm like, "How you doing over there? How you doing? Yeah. Just go to the doctor's office. Just go."
That's hilarious.
I'm that guy. I'm a germ. My
man.
wife is a germ freak.
Good. She's
Really?
a nurse. She should be.
Yeah.
I know.
She's seen
the one.
enough.
She's the one that goes to the hotel room with the Clorox bleach wipes.
Oh, yeah.
It's the doorknob. It's the light switches. There's nothing can be touched until
yeah.
she's finished.
Okay.
Black light
So,
the
so if
bed.
you rent those beautiful
Smart.
hotel rooms with like the nice little patio
You'd be
jacuzzi out
surprised,
there,
Yeah.
we're not going anywhere near that damn thing.
Never get into a jacuzzi, period.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah. It's like beautiful room with a jacuzzi. Don't touch it, husband.
No,
Yeah.
it's like baking
Yeah.
flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Well,
Sheriff Hardwick.
From fentanyl to that.
Yeah, there you go. Wow,
Yeah.
hard turn there.
If I can just mention one more thing. So, as everybody knows, of course, Michael Kunovich, Sergeant Michael Kunovich, died last year in the line of duty on May 19th of 2003. This is National Police Week Memorial up in Washington, D.C.
Oh,
So
right, yeah.
some of our family, his family members, his son Mike and Max, and his ex-wife Michelle will be up there, of course, along with our representatives, paying their respects, of course, to the Kunovich family and the other people that, of course, are being added to the wall this year. So just thoughts and prayers, of course, for not just us, but the entire nation, of course, that suffers when an officer dies in line of duty. It's always a story too. It's like, just like Mike Kunovich, he's got two sons, Mike and Max. Mike, Mike's in college, and Max is getting ready to graduate high school next year, and ex-wife Michelle, just beautiful family. But it seems like it's always that story. Like even last weekend, like I think it's called the Sakattin Win. Anyway, it's in Utah. It's a police department. And a guy's named Sergeant Hoosier, Hooser. He was backing up a deputy or backing up a trooper on a traffic stop. He works for a city police department. this tractor trailer was wanted for some type of crime. The tractor trailer does a U-turn and turns back around and comes at him and charges him and kills this deputy sheriff. Jeez. So here's the typical story. He leaves behind his wife, 2 daughters, and a granddaughter. It's the same story every single time. But anyways, just thoughts and prayers for National Police Week. It is, and it's not just our profession, but it just happens to be that we honor ours this weekend. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Sheriff. Sheriff Hardwick. Always a great show when you come in. Always very informative and insightful. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you.
I feel like I talked the whole show. Is it just me?
No, you were great, though.
That's why we like having you here.
Trey's asleep back there. I heard him. Trey's like, geez, this guy doesn't shut up.
You can't sleep through these. You cannot sleep through these. I promise you that.
Appreciate y'all. Have a great weekend. And I appreciate your support of us and our agency and what we do. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Gloves on.
That's it, especially at the gas pump.
Definitely wearing gloves.
Boy, jeez.
Glad. I think I have them in stock, too.
Well, I have to go get some. Let me borrow a few.
I definitely have plenty.
Jeez. All right, man. Davey, how do you want to approach the comments this Friday, man?
According to Bobby, I'm going to furtively find my way through the fantastic comments of our fruitful findings today.
Great. As you do that, I'll remind everybody that Bates, Hewitt, and Floyd is not your average insurance agency. They provide peace of mind and insurance to protect your biggest investments. Their approach to insurance and risk longevity in our community and the way they treat their clients sets them apart from all the rest. They offer homeowners, auto, commercial, and benefits, and they've been doing that for over 50 years, and they've been doing that for everybody at the 904 now, which is great.
Absolutely.
We've all switched over to Christy Lawrenson because she's St. Augustine's premier agent, and she does the work. She does the research. She finds you the best policies for you. It's not. She's not out there looking for, I can get him on a $700 a month policy and make a ton of commission off this. That's not even how they operate.
Right.
Her attention to detail and organizational skills have found errors and cost savings where others have not. Give them a call, 904-794-5455, and schedule your appointment with Christy today. Also, our friends at B&S Signs. I can't tell you how excited I am to work with B&S Signs on the next Florida Man Games. It's amazing. They did such great work for me, and they have been through the whole 904 Now career.
Absolutely.
I mean, I've done so much work with them. They have been my go-to sign company, my only sign company.
And you're picky. So,
I'm very, very picky.
Yeah.
I'm very, very, and the first time you screw me over, I'm gone forever.
Absolutely.
Gone
we all know how he
forever.
gets. Yes.
Yep. So, and I've been working with B&S Signs for years. They are amazing. They do top of the line work, best in the business. They're incredible. B&S Signs. You got to get with them for all of your signage needs. All right, Davey, what you got in there, man?
All right, so they're all over you about asking the sheriff about how he felt about the carousel. Too bad the sheriff is out of the building at this moment, so we will not be able to ask him, you guys. So there you go.
No, we don't talk about the carousel unless we really desperately need to.
Right, so we're going to talk about an installation if it happens. If it happens. Also, a lot of love out there for Kendall. Shout out to her who's on the road. I think somewhere locally, just kind of texting me as he's like, "Don't forget about the torch run." So yeah, make sure we got that in there.
This is why she's such a valuable asset to Sheriff Hardwick.
Absolutely,
she knows how to keep everybody on track.
I love that.
All right, cool, man. What do you got for Stordom Stat?
All right, well, today's Stordom Stat that we're exploring the journey of a superhero known for his green skin and his incredible strength.
Oh, okay.
The Incredible Hulk made his debut today, May 10th, 1962. But his initial series lasted about 6 issues before they canceled it in March of 1963.
Really?
No one stays down for that long, especially if the Hulk's involved. He found a new home on the pages of Tales to Astonish, sharing space with other Marvel superheroes. His popularity grew by April 1968. He got his own series, and history was made into a legendary success.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hulk
Pretty cool.
smash.
Yeah. They canceled him and he was like, I'm coming right back. I like that story.
That's what you got to do if you get canceled. You just got to stand your ground.
Right. You fall down on
Don't
7,
go
you get
anywhere.
back up on 8.
That's right. All right, man. Good Stordom Stat.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I thought you were talking about a meth addict at first. Green skin and
Dobbs Road Demon.
angry. Yeah. Stronger than they should be.
Like it.
All right, man. That Stordom Stat brought to you by St. Augie's Pizza. Hey, where's the St. Augie's Pizza? I need that up there. Boom.
Yeah.
Love that place.
Nice.
Get down there today. You'll probably see one of us down there, and I'll say it for Troy because I'm sure it's the truth. Troy was there last night.
Definitely.
It's always the truth.
Probably on the plane with a slice right now.
Probably is.
Yep.
Probably is. Had to sneak that on the plane. All right, man. What you got for plugs today, Davey?
Hey, we got the world famous Lindy Luce from Gas
Oh,
Restaurant
yeah.
coming in.
Exciting.
I'm so excited to get a profile on her and what she's doing for Pachaka Cha coming up.
Okay, nice. Trey, you got any plugs, man?
Obviously the storm's coming in today, but Marineland Dolphin Adventure. If you haven't met a dolphin and you're looking for a summer adventure, that is the
Okay.
place to go.
Awesome.
I've met numerous dolphins. Thank
Yeah.
you, Trey.
Flipper.
But I may meet the Marineland dolphins.
That
I don't
might
think
be
I've met
nice.
the new crop.
Very nice. Oh, is it crop? Yeah, what is it?
Well, generic.
Pod.
Pod.
Oh, the new
Okay.
pod. Okay, very good. Thank you for correcting
I
me.
liked crop better.
You're fired, Trey. All right, we will see you guys a little bit later.
Bye-bye.
Can I hit the end button from here?